I'm gonna pull up one more name, right? One more guy. I'm gonna talk about one more old school guy real quick. His name is Greg Townsen. Pulled out in the fourth round. He went to TCU. He played for the Law. He played for the Raiders. He played for the Raiders with Howie Long. He was the defensive end with Howie Long for years, man. 13 years in the NFL. He played 190 games. He had 109 and a half sacks, 359 solo tackles, 15 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions at defensive end. He was getting busy out there like JJ Watt before that time, right? Two-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl winner. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. And I know y'all got to heard of this name just more recent. Greg Townsen. I know y'all heard this name more recent. He played with Howie Long at defensive end on the Los Angeles Raiders. He's not in the Hall of Fame, y'all. 60-something years, 62 years old this today, as of right now, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. And he played with arguably one of the most famous defensive linemen in ever. Everybody know who Howie Long is, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody know who Howie Long is. How do we not know the guy? How, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. How do you not know the guy who played defensive end with Howie Long? That's crazy. And he was the first. Let's say he was the first hybrid too, Shaq. He was the first hybrid. He was the first guy that they tried to move the right outside linebacker because he was so athletic at the defensive end position. They took Greg Townsen and they used to put him at right outside linebacker, right in, and move him around on that line. You know what I'm saying? Gave him free will. But you got to remember too, 109 sacks back when they played is a lot of damn sacks. That's a lot of damn sacks.
That's a
They
lot.
was not passing the ball. It was what? Would you say it was what, bro? 65% run, 35% pass back then?
Man, it may have been 80-20.
You know what I'm saying? Like facts, bro. Like facts.
20.
Facts. And he ain't and he's not in the Hall of Fame, y'all. But we gotta remember that name, y'all. Greg Townsen. He played with Howie Long on the Raiders show. Who you got, bro?
Next man I got up, I'm gonna go modern. I'm gonna go modern real quick. We'll get back to the old school because we still
Okay.
got some guys that we need to
All right.
commemorate. But I'm gonna go because we saying these older guys' name and it may throw some people off. So because they
Yeah.
may think we're talking about soccer. They never heard these names before. They may think we're talking about soccer. So let's bring a name up that they know, right? I'm going I'm going I'm going Torry Holt.
Oh, oh, what? Hold up, my man still ain't in. Stop
Tor,
playing with me, bro.
Torry Holt.
Stop
Big game
playing with
big
me.
big game Holt is what they called him.
Oh my
Was a
god.
part of the greatest show on turf.
Absolutely.
Torry Holt. First, see, this is the thing about it, right? I got to commend Torry Holt. Torry Holt was a first round pick. Was the seventh. I mean, he was the first round pick for the Rams. Now, one of the things about a lot of wide receivers, especially when they're drafted early, because he was drafted fairly early in the first round, those guys sometimes don't live up to the hype. Torry
Mm,
Holt lived up to the hype. Torry
mm,
Holt finished his career with 7 Pro Bowls. Again, played in an era where it still mattered. One All Pro. Now, I'm not gonna knock him for just one All Pro selection because I understand the guys that he played with and they were in the era with him. So I'm not gonna knock him for that one All Pro. But 920 catches, 13,382 yards, 74 total touchdowns. His best season, 117 catches, 1,696 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
mm.
Again, you had Isaac Bruce on the other side. And this man still was able to get 920 catches, 13,382 yards, and 74
The
touchdowns.
greatest show on turf. Kurt
Greatest
Warner
show
was
on
out there
turf.
slinging that thing to them boys, man. Hey, look, that's why. Mm. And see, and we know who T Holt is, right? We know who T Holt is.
Know
I'm
who
gonna
he
give
is.
y'all. I'm gonna get. Oh my goodness, man. T Holt, man. Look, T Holt was so clutch. Like when you can remember, right? When Moss, because that was back when we used to say Moss. Oh, you got Moss. You
Got
got
Moss.
Moss, bro. Hey, bro just
Facts.
mossed you, cuz he just mossed you. Like so that was back when we say that. So Torry Holt though was that guy. He was that guy on that Rams team. Let's not front like what I'm saying. I said if you didn't know better and know better in football, you probably would have thought that you said Irvin Fryer. Irvin Fryer. Okay. 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 We got some names up in here. We gotta that's what I'm talking about. Now let's talk about it. The link to the show is in the chat, South Coast Kane. Let's get it, dog. You know what I mean? That's cold. Tattoo Terry said. Now it is, man. Now I bet y'all ain't even know this. Now I'm about to say that he should have went in automatically. I don't care if he just retired in 2020. He should have been in automatically. Soon as this guy that I'm about to say right now retired in 2020, he should have been right in the Hall of Fame. But listen, you can argue there's only one receiver ever better than this man. Larry Fitzgerald.
Can't
I know
argue
you
with
got to be retired for 5 years. Larry Fitzgerald was he just different, dog. I don't think he dropped a pass. I don't think he ever dropped
I,
a pass, bro.
I think he got like 5 career drops.
In a
It may
career,
not even be. It may not even be that high. It's
Jesus,
single digit drops though.
Jesus, man. At least, man, Larry Fitzgerald, man, is a straight up monster, y'all. He should, and I know from reading the criteria, I know he should have not been in. He just retired in 2020, so in 5 years he gonna be a first ballot. I know he better be all 11-time Pro Bowler. What are we talking about? 1-time All Pro. You know what I'm saying? He made the Hall of Fame 2010's team. He was 2016 Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about? All right, he played 263 games. All right, he had 1,432 receptions for a total of 17,492 yards, 121 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. The man was just crazy. And I'm trying to see his drops because you said he dropped, right? Oh, his drops. You said 5 of them. That's what you said, bro. Right?
Like total, like 5 total
In a
drops.
career. And I think that's what, yeah, he got 5 total drops in his career, bro. You on
Insane.
point. You was on point with that, bro. I get that to you, bro. Hey, okay. 5 career drops, yo. And that man played from 2004 to 2020, man. Damn, man. That's a look, man. And he gotta go right in, man. Larry Fitzgerald, dog. He has to go right in. But let me get to my next name, man. This name might be a little bit of he might be a little controversial. But some people may not agree. But when it comes to like return man and like just all purpose yards, touchdowns, he retired in 2019, and I believe I thought he should have been like on that, you know what I'm saying, on that first ballot list because of who he was. Now I'm gonna see if you can get him. Okay, he was 5'6", 190 pounds, played at Kansas State. Uh, Darren Sproles, man.
I thought
And
you give me some trivia. Thought you gonna give me some trivia.
you thought I was gonna give you some trivia?
Yeah,
I mean,
cause the way you set it up, you was like
yeah,
you give me some clues. But how
yeah,
okay, Darren
yeah.
Sproles. Okay,
Yeah,
listen.
Darren Sproles, man, Darren Sproles, right? Because of his return ability, right? Because of his return ability and how much he actually ran the ball too, right? Because he got busy, right? He did. We could say that he got busy because in his career, I mean, he only had what in his whole career. They say he had let me get this correct. Okay, 3,552 rushing yards, but he had 4,840 receiving yards. Okay, so we talking all purpose yards here. You know what I'm saying? All purpose. He was an all purpose person, and he had 2,961 kick return and punt return yards, and he had 7 punt return touchdowns and 2 kick return touchdowns. So that leaves him on the return list at 9. Remember, Devin Hester leads that with what? Let me. I want it with 13, and then there. Eric Metcalf has 10. So Darren Sproles is on that list for punt and kick return touchdowns at 9. He, I thought he would get in for nothing else just by his like I said, when he was returning touchdown kickoffs and punt returns, and on top of that, he also has a lot of yards when it comes to receiving and rushing. You know what I'm saying? We know he didn't start at running back, but he also played low receiver. He was catching out that backfield a lot. And and hold up, I'm not done with his accolades. You want to start to? I'm not done with his accolades, y'all, because he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion. He was
Only
also,
three.
huh?
He only
Yeah, he
had
was
three pro.
only 3, bro. He only had 3 Pro Bowls, and he was also named on the Hall of Fame's 2010s list. So from the 2010s to 2000, he was in that. You know what I'm saying? He was in that Hall of Fame group, but they didn't put him in. I thought he was going to be a for sure Hall of, you know what I mean, first ballot guy type of guy or whatever. When I was 5 years up, I thought he was going straight up in there. You know, like this year for real. I thought he was going to be named to go up in there, but I guess not. I guess not,
I,
man.
I mean that combination of him and LaDainian Tomlinson,
Mm-hmm.
deadly, deadly. I would have thought that man had more than three Pro Bowls though, man. They played with that man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these guys, like, and he was just a, and I think that the reason why, just me speculating and throwing my opinion. In my opinion, I think he didn't make the Hall of Fame because Sproles bounced around the league. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think he didn't, because he didn't. The stability of him not being at one place for a significant amount of time. I think that's why I think that could be something. That's just me though, speculating. I don't know why guys. A lot of these guys are not on the list, but we know he spent what 6 years in Philly. What 5 6 years in Philly, 5 with the Chargers, and he spent and he played with New Orleans too. So you know, he-
Man, but he made plays though.
yeah.
I mean, we remember the Charger years, and you made me think about. Yes, he did play with Philly because he
Mm-hmm.
was in the backfield. Because what? It was him and Deuce Staley, right? Because Deuce Staley ended up getting traded to
Or,
y'all.
or was it Brian Westbrook? It was Westbrook and Staley, right? He was there with Westbrook at first, right?
Oh,
He was there
wait
with
a
Brian
minute.
Westbrook, and then Staley came after. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then Staley ended
Mm-hmm.
up going to y'all
Yeah, right.
because they said,
No doubt,
cause
man.
cause what's the head coach at the Chiefs right now?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Deuce Staley said Andy Reid didn't want to run the ball enough. So he need
Mm-hmm.
to go down there to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's another great player too.
Deuce
Talking
Staley,
about Brian Westbrook.
Brian Westbrook. Yeah, hey dog. Look, he was a bad man too, man. Like Brian Westbrook was bad. I remember like he was he was one of them close 99 speeders on Madden back in the day. you know, it's like
Yeah. Brian
bad.
Westbrook was putting in a lot of work back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He
So
said, "Keep him with the right receiver. Keep him with the right receiver trend." What about Chad Johnson, y'all? Tattoo Terry said that, and I like that. Look, we
you
know
know
why Chad
what?
ain't getting it. And look, and that is a great point, right? That's great. That is a great point because you go ahead, you take it, bro. I think he great. I'm gonna let you kill this one first. Go ahead.
Chad is my guy. Chad is my guy. And I think the thing that's gonna hold Chad back, I'm not even gonna say it got anything to do with the antics because that's a part of who he was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing to me that I think that's gonna hold Chad back is similar to what you said. And I think it's more so gonna be an indictment on Chad and it's gonna be an indictment on Darren Sproles.
Mm-hmm.
Him going to another team. And then you're at Cincinnati. And
Mm-hmm.
again, T.O. shows up in the building. T.O. automatically becomes wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we know T.O. is all time great. Make no mistake about it. But you got to be number one regardless, Chad. And I love Chad.
I like that. And the only pushback I got on that, bro, is that I think that was a ploy for that division to put him at wide receiver one and then to put Chad at the two. Cause T.O.'s a big body fast guy, but Chad Johnson to route you up and he was fast, bro. Like
I mean,
you could put
yeah,
either one at the one, right?
yeah. And then another thing to me about Chad, and I'm sitting here looking at it. Chad only had one season where he had double digit touchdowns. I think that's gonna hurt him. I think Chad should have been a guy that should have had multiple seasons in which he
Mm-hmm.
had um, touchdowns. Played with a good
Mm-hmm.
quarterback in Carson Palmer, so can't necessarily say that you were devoid in the quarterback, the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
But Chad's a very good player. Based on the criteria, according to Pro Football, um, Chad has the numbers. Cause all you need is over ten
10,000.
thousand yards,
Mm-hmm.
65 touchdowns. So Chad. According to them,
He
Chad
has.
meets the Chad meets that particular criteria. But I just
Mm-hmm.
think Chad should have had. Um, I think Chad should have had more touchdowns.
You think so?
Personally,
I
yeah, I
mean,
think I
yeah,
think I think this was holding.
but
I think
you
this
know
was
what?
holding Chad back.
You know what, man? And Chad was in one of the toughest divisions for a long time, bro.
True that. True that.
You know what I'm saying? Chad was in the, I mean, from 2001 to 2010, those Steelers and Ravens defenses alone. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like he was across from Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like he done seen some great players. Like Chad played against some great players on both of our defenses. You know what I'm saying? And he's seen our defenses at their best. Palomalu. I mean, you can say what you want about Ike Taylor. He couldn't catch for shit. He couldn't catch a cold in the wintertime with a coat off, butt naked. You know what I'm saying? The, but he had bat something. Ike Taylor he can stay with you. You know what I'm saying, and knock it down. But Chad Johnson, man, he played with a lot of great defenses back then, and I think that held him back. And he killed us, man. He was killing us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie. I seen Chad Johnson play a lot of football. Being a Steelers fan, and I'm telling you, I hated playing the Bengals because Chad was gonna get at least one playing Baltimore and Steelers. You knew he was gonna get at least one, but he played in the with some tough defenses in that division. And you can say what you Cleveland always had a solid D, Um and we know, but I would say that though. I would definitely say that he played in a division with some tough guys, man. So that
But you
that
know
that got
what?
to do with
It
that.
brings it brings me to another name, right? Trying to get my Miami card back. Trying to get my
You,
Miami
you
card
tell
back.
you gotta get your Miami. You
Try
got it,
try to get the
dog.
card back. So I got Sa- so I got Sa- so I got Santana Moss here, right?
Mm,
Santana Moss got 732 career catches. Chad got 762. Santana got 10,283. Chad got 11,059. Chad got
mm.
67 touchdowns. Santana got 66 touchdowns. Now the thing about this, Santana didn't play with as good of a quarterback as Chad Johnson played. with you.
Nah.
Santana got those numbers.
Yeah.
Santana, in my opinion, was in an offense that was more run based than what Chad played in. Now, obviously, Santana was the number one guy for the Commanders. That's what they go by now.
Yeah.
But
That motherfucker was bad. And he'll return something on you too now.
yeah, so
He'll return something on you too now.
so kind of when I look at it like that, I feel like Chad, like I say again, Chad got 766 catches. A guy like Chad, again, let's look at again. I mean, obviously
Mm-hmm.
we should get to this guy as well because Steve Smith Sr. he retired in 16. Steve Smith Sr. again much shorter than Chad, played with worse quarterbacks than Chad.
Mm-hmm.
1,031 catches, 14,731 yards, 81 touchdowns. That's Steve Smith Sr. But nobody. But again, let's
And he
going
should
back
be
to
in
my
there. He in there.
going going back to my guy Studio, right? Hall of Fame famous. Chad Johnson's more famous than Steve Smith Sr. But Steve Smith Sr. with the work. Steve Smith Sr. with the work.
All day.
So so I would feel more compelled making a case for Steve Smith Sr. than I would for Chad Johnson. But again, this is just we just having dialogue here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, see, man, when we all right, so you say Steve Smith Sr., right? That's what you saying, right? That's
Steve
what you
Smith
said. You
Sr.
said Steve Smith. Steve Smith was a beast, man. But Chad Johnson, and what I was gonna say about Chad Johnson was, and I'm talking because I'm still not off of that. He was very popular. He was very popular around the league. If there would have been social media when Chad Johnson was in the league, Chad Johnson would have had millions of followers. You know what I'm saying? Um, he was very popular, and that just goes to show you that that's not the case for a lot of this. The criteria and the goalpost is constantly moved for a lot of athletes, and I don't get it because there's some guys that's in the hall right now that I think that shouldn't be in the hall. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, of course.
There's guys that's in there now, that I don't think should be, but there's a lot of these guys that's left out. So I think they tell you what the criteria may be, but I don't believe that to be the criteria. It's something else that we don't have the answer to. But we're gonna keep on celebrating these guys though, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna jump on to this to a guy that, and some people may say, look, he don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because he only got 9,000. He only got what 10,000 rushing yards, right? But everybody, we all remember him. He was a monster when he played. And I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks running back Sean Alexander. Okay, Sean Alexander.
Oh, that's a
Sean
good one.
Alexander had, he had 2,000 total carries, 2,187 carries for 9,453 yards. Had 100 touchdowns. All right, his
That's a
career
key
had
number.
his huh.
That's a key number right there. 100 touchdowns. That's a key
It
number.
is 100. Yes, it is. His career average per game was 80 yards, like 77 yards per game, because it was 76.9. So we'll say 77. We can round that off. I'm pretty sure. All right, get out a whole number. He had 215 receptions for 1,520 yards catching, 12 touchdowns. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler. That's it, which shocked me. Um, 1-time All Pro. All right, 2005, and he was the MVP for in 2005, which we all remember because he was on the cover, right?
Cover a man.
Right, and he ain't in the hall. Sean
It's
Alexander's not
crazy.
in the hall.
It's crazy.
It is because we all know that Sean Alexander was he was a beast, bro. Period.
It
Like
it
period.
it, it was that era watching Sean Alexander go to work, watching LaDainian Thomason go to work, watching Priest Holmes go to work, all in the same time What more could you ask for? Even if you weren't an NFL fan, you would have to appreciate what Sean Alexander, Priest Holmes, what they brought in Ladainian Thomason, what they did for the NFL in that particular era. You have to appreciate it. So yeah,
Yes,
most definitely,
absolutely.
Sean Alexander should be in the cover of Madden. It's not like he was